All right, check 1, 2, and let's see what we got here. Hey, hi, how you doing? If you're seeing this part of the video, then you're watching on YouTube, and the actual live stream happens on Discord on Saturdays at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So the weekly sketch happens there every week, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. But the replay goes up on YouTube, so if you don't want to jump up my Discord and you just want to hang out on YouTube, that's fine. You know, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTubey stuff. But all of the fun shit, all of the live shit happens on the Discord server. So that's where you really want to be. Let me go ahead and turn on my light here. I need the light. I needs the light. I does. Let me click on over here. Uh, Setting. Okay, we're voice connected and share. Select something to stream. Okay. Windowed projector. I have forgotten how to stream. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go live on that, and there we go. Alrighty then. We are kicked up and running. Yep. Okay, so go ahead and come in. I'm just an idiot and wanted to make sure. I'm just an idiot and wanted to make sure I got on it. Okay. So, all right, we are over here. What the? Wow! Suddenly everybody has a screen. Some is that? Okay. That's fine. I don't mind. Uh, But typically, what we do for those who are not actually on the voice chat is to go over to if you look down under the voice channels category, there's a VC text channels category, and we've got a text channel called voice chat, which is where we do the actual like text chatting and what. And you know, while you could indeed be like streaming your camera and whatnot during this, currently I don't have anything in place to prevent that, so I guess you could. But the people on YouTube later are going to be kind of left on the curb by that. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've got Clip Studio fired up. I was I was talking to a fellow game developer a little bit earlier, like literally just before I started, the stream, and we've been talking about like the maths that go into game programming and stuff like that. So that was like fun and interesting, and it's really cool talking to somebody else who's like working in the same general sort of stuff. It's a different kind of thing that I. A lot of the time, you're or well, what I'm doing is I'm telling people, hey, here's some stuff that you could do, but they're not actually there. They're just like the audience on YouTube, or they're gonna show up later and read the post on a message board or a community or something, and it's really neat having that kind of real time thing. So and that's kind of like what I'm looking for with the streams, is to get more people in uh, that are into the same general sort of stuff, and then we can like talk and shit and have like conversations. And but yeah, we're supposed to be talking about clothes today, and try to draw some clothes. couple of sting folder of stuff. Studio Paint comes with all kinds of. So well, there's a button to put them on the. This is frustrating and annoying. There we go. There's those. Okay, so there we go. There's our thing, so we can actually shit. This is where anybody that's like clandestinely, I'm not very good. But that's the way shit works. Yeah, we're going. Okay, so stand construction of dresses and how seams and because this is a relatively short collection of because this is a relatively short group of because it's a relatively short piece of fabric. Hold on. No problem. Okay, so this is a reasonably short piece of fabric, and as a short piece of fabric, it's not going to have that much trouble standing up. Even if it were angled outward more like this, it would still stand up reasonably well because it'd be in there. He's saying he'd join your stream. I would join your stream 20 minutes. My girlfriend is forcing me to sleep. I'm literally already streaming.
I hate forced sleep.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. Just for the weak and sickly. But because that's a reasonably short piece of fabric, it doesn't have any trouble standing up. It's stiff. And collars tend to be like multiple layers of fabric too, so they kind of shore each other up. They hold one another together. So there were basically 3 different ways that sleeves get it. One of them is with a seam that starts more or less exactly on the collar. And that, if you just had the sleeve out as normal, it would go like this, okay? But being out there and being straight out in that fashion is typically reserved for something that's a reasonably soft fabric, so it'll fall down along the arm. And then you get kind of these soft folds, the spiral folds. And often these will come out across the hand. So you'll get some wrinkles there, and then it'll kind of hang. This very loose kind of slack situation that's going on with the fabric. Now, another thing that you'll run into is you'll run into kind of straight down seam, is where the arm is connected to the shoulder at kind of an angle, okay? But it's not a very sharp angle. This tends to be a slightly stiffer fabric, but still kind of stiff. So it'll fold down, and this typically tends to be a short sleeve. It'll fold down, but then it'll come across the arm, and you'll have a couple of there, and of course where the body. And the third way that you see sleeves joined to the body is you'll see them joined with an actual angled seam that allows the arm to hang straight down. And that tends to be a significantly stiffer fabric. This is what you see on like suits and jackets and something like that. And that tends to be a stiff fabric that is going to hang almost straight down. It's got wrinkles in here. But other than that, it's going to be stiff and just kind of pipe that hangs in there and doesn't do a whole lot other. It doesn't really have really noticeable folds and wrinkles unless you bend the arm. And when you bend the arm, it's going to bend, and you're going to get what we call a half lock fold, which is where the fabric is kind of doubling up and bending inside itself. You also see this in fingers. When fingers bend, okay, as the finger bends, the fat and skin of each knuckle kind of goes in and underneath the next. And you can see that if you just do that real slow, then you can see how each of them kind of nests into the other. And on a thick jacket, you'll see that kind of, you bend the arm and the lower sleeve stays nice and rigid and the upper sleeve stays nice and rigid. But there's this area in the middle that buckles and folds under. So what the fabric is actually doing is something like this. If you were to look at it in 2 dimensions, comes along and then it's got that little bit of material in there. And this is what we call a half lock fold. This is actually, it's just the fabric folding underneath of itself and kind of doing that. See, you also see this in skirts. This is very much a thing that you see in skirts, where the skirts are. You've got single knife pleats, and you've got fan fold pleats, green pleats. There's all kinds of stuff. You should totally study the way that clothes are put together. That's a useful thing. Pardon me, all to pieces. That's okay. I'm in good shape. But depending on what type of clothing you have, typically the seam here will fall somewhere in this range. And if it falls over toward the neck, that tends to be a lighter fabric. If it falls more over here, that tends. And that's typically the guideline that I use for this sort of thing. And let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing with clothes. I really don't have any idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not that good at this. We've got fucking Wicked in the chat. He's the game developer. But But yeah, just to kind of let him know where things are coming from on this. This is work that I'm doing to support my game. Let me come up here. Is a thing that I'm working on right now, which there's some basic stuff done with it, but where is it? Where is it? Got it. Oh no no. Put it under. There it is. I've lost it. Huh. I mean, I do have it somewhere. I've got a build of the project somewhere. I can't find it. It's not that big a deal. I'm working on a game called Groping Festival. Basically, you grope the anime chick until she drops her panties. It is pretty much the worst idea ever, but it's it is something that I've been working on for a while, and in order to get this done, I need to be able to draw anime chicks, which is what I'm working on, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not much. So it's just like I'm teaching myself all of this shit that I need to know to be able to have the art that I need for my game, because I've tried to hire artists. It hasn't gone well. And I think it's different if like you have friends who are good at this stuff, but don't. And I'm way too fussy to just like ask people to do me a favor. That's one of the things I run into. You got this friend who's like, "Hey, you do a thing. Could you do me this favor?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, I'll do you the favor." And you're like, "Yeah, you kind of fucked that up. Could you do it again?" And that doesn't do good things for the friendship. So I just don't even do that anymore. I just try to do stuff myself. But yeah, got here we were doing book draft. This sort of figure eight sort of shadow figure. You can see that there are supposed to be breasts there, but they're not. I think a lot of people see studio paint and they go, oh, well, I can just trace over this stuff and it'll be easy. And it's really not easy to just like trace over this stuff because you still have to fill in an awful lot of details. You have a pretty good idea. You'll have to know. And you still. Something I kind of suck at. I always find it interesting that people are apologetic when fuck out of a stream. Dude, we've all got lives that we're supposed to do. We've all got places that we're supposed to go. No problem. Go ahead, man. Be you. You go do your thing, dude. That's something that that kind of I see a lot of people on YouTube. This kind of bothers me. People go, "Hey, only X number of people are subscribed to my channel." Well, yeah, because not everybody wants to watch everything you do. You're not entitled to that. That's not the norm. People who want to watch every single thing you do, those are not normal people. They're not. Everybody is not going to be that person. You're not that clever, interesting, or funny. It's just that. I think that's the most important thing for anybody doing any kind of media publication to recognize is you are not that funny. You are not that interesting. You are not that clever. You're competing against like everybody. It's just like, think of the coolest person that you know. Like, think of the coolest person in the world, the coolest person on YouTube, the top 10 coolest people on YouTube. They're every bit as easy to watch as you are. Why the fuck would somebody watch you? They need a reason. Give them a reason or they're not gonna, you know? I don't do the greatest job of giving people reasons. I do at the very least understand that there needs. That's important. God, I'm much of anything. Man, this just looks stupid as heck. That's not. I'm always surprised at how good my stuff looks. Try to look at it. Oh. I have to look up at some. What button? What is Control Shift 8? I don't know. I don't know. Always spend more. That's not thickness. Way that the clothing sits on top of clothing. I I really I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point in terms of moving my work forward, moving my channel forward, figuring out. Frustrated that I can't seem to find executable for my game. Shit, I have an awful lot of them for. Old though. Huh. It starts up. Start. Just said build. Oh, whether it's actually building anything. Seem to. Does not seem actually. frustrating. What's wrong with this build? That's very frustrating. Ah, well, regardless. Stream. Yeah. Figure out what is going. Huh. This experiment is not going that good. I don't know what I'm doing. But, that's par for the course. I hardly ever know what I'm. I don't know why I'm even. I'm so terrible. I don't know why I'm even. Uh, I, I still feel like the work I'm doing on this is terrible. I feel like understand why it's terrible, and I can see like, oh, over here I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know I did a bad job at it. So you're going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, but I did something, so I guess that was the wrong thing, maybe. I understand what it is.
That's how I get through everything.
Yeah.
I'm doing something. I have a question though for you.
Yeah.
On this last one that you were just doing, the lines in the skirt, are those to represent lines or are they like folds in the material?
They were supposed to be pleats, but I just kind of got annoyed and didn't do a very good job of it. Basically, the idea here.
You didn't say, so I just wasn't sure which way you were going with it.
What I was going for there, and I was annoyed at myself for, and which is like typical. I need to spend more. I need to invest the effort that's the major thing that I do. I don't stop, slow, do something, and I go, well, that sucks. As I move from thing to the next, and kind of like it's this sort of downward spiral of work. When we focus, if I could do these little incremental thing that I go down, the thing that has to be, I don't really slow down and need to invest the effort to. That's bad. That's bad too. And at least I'm not trying to do the same thing over and over, scratch. But really do invest, make something that I'm working good and problem. Haven't been working on that. Need to work on. Not working on it because I don't job at it, and I job at it because I work on it. It's that whole vicious cycle thing again. But it's what people do. That's not just a me problem. That's lots and lots of people get into where they don't do the work to improve. And that's very frustrating. I, I focus way too much on I need to do a thing that other people do a thing. It's going to help. I need to get more selfish about it. So, I need to do the thing that I need to do. I need to build the things that I build and have. I'm really distressed by this issue that no export template found at the path. All right, there's something going on with what's going. That should have already been installed. I thought I already installed them. It just this is going to be obnoxious. I know it hasn't been much of a stream. Well, I had all of this together. It will actually run. It's just not. It's not generating an. It's generated executable. Anyway, I got a duck. This is a boring and stream, and I apologize. I tried. It will be better next week, I promise. And I don't want to. I don't want to be technical using this stream. Thanks, y'all, for showing up. Thank you for coming by. Thank you, dumb shit. figure out how I'm forward with. But all right, I'm gonna. I'll talk to you.
Wasn't that bad.